Uranus, the heavenly god. The scientist William Herschel made the discovery of the seventh planet in 1781. From 1781 to 1850, it was called George, and it wasn't until 1850 that it was renamed Uranus. The first planet discovered by astronomers using a telescope was Uranus. When Herschel and his associates first examined what is now the Sun's seventh planet, they thought it was a comet or a star. Since then, the blue-green ice giant has presented science with numerous mysteries. Its home star is so far away that a full orbit takes 84 Earth years, making it extremely challenging for astronomers to view and study Uranus. If you would like to accompany us on our journey, please give us a thumbs up. The Voyager missions were crucial for the raw data. We leave Earth, the only home we know, to travel to the furthest regions of the cosmos. Let's start our adventure across the immensity of the universe, music, by subscribing to Simply Space and anticipating the videos that will be waiting for you in the future. Unexpected 21-year earthly seasons and axis of rotation. This planet has a mind of its own. For example, Venus and Uranus revolve from east to west, yet a day on Earth lasts 24 hours. But a day on Uranus lasts only 17 hours and 14 minutes. Because of its uniquely inclined axis of rotation, which has an angle that is nearly parallel to the orbital plane, the seventh planet of the Sun appears to rotate on its side, resembling a marble slab rolling across the ground. This oddity is attributed by scientists to the axis of rotation to a massive collision between Uranus and his celestial objects due to Uranus' unconventional rotation. Over the course of the last 21 Earth years, the seasons on the seventh planet have seen significant changes in the amount of sunshine in various places and seasons throughout the Uranian year. The space probe Voyager 2 approached the upper cloud banks of Uranus, 500 kilometers in 1986, and sent back a ton of data about the icy giant. During this historic NASA mission, thousands of pictures of Uranus were taken, including its rings and moons. The scientific instruments inside the probe found 2 rings that had not been found before, so Uranus now has 13 rings in total. The deposits found in the rings range in size from solid items like small rocks to microscopic dust particles. 11 of the inner rings are less colorful than the 2 outer rings. The Hubble Space Telescope first identified the 2 outer rings of the 13 rings in 2003, whereas the inner rings were initially found in 1977. The discovery of the 9 rings occurred by accident in 1977 when astronomers noticed a star passing by a planet. The peculiarity of the Uranus ring system is that there are 2 distinct ring systems with peculiar weather patterns. While on Earth we think of rain as liquid, on Uranus it pours enormous diamonds, creating strange weather conditions. Scientists have used the brightest X-ray source on Earth to provide evidence the LINAC coherent light source was connected to a free electron. X-ray laser to monitor processes even at the atomic level. Astronomers and scientists observed how tiny diamonds were formed, which were conducted through a special plastic as shock waves. This gave the researchers an insight into the processes that took place in the planetary atmosphere, but on a much larger scale. This plastic material is composed of hydrogen and carbon. Both elements are abundant on Uranus. The focus of this experiment was to introduce the shock waves into the material according to theory. Methane is also involved, which is composed of 4 hydrogen atoms and 1 carbon atom in the atmosphere. Hydrocarbon chains are formed, which are transformed into diamonds, and the appropriate amount of pressure and heat is applied. This process takes place over 8,000 kilometers below the surface of Uranus. This is where the diamonds run out, and finally, diamond rain forms. The small diamonds are scientifically called nanodiamonds. Scientists predict that this nanodiamond shower will even reach the Earth. Neptune. The minimum atmospheric daytime temperature is an ice minus 224 degrees Celsius, which is not surprising considering that Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system and is located roughly 2.9 billion kilometers from the Sun. One of the coldest planets in our solar system is Uranus. Neptune, which is on average 4.5 billion kilometers away, is another planet vying with Uranus for the title of coldest planet in the solar system. Neptune occasionally experiences temperatures of minus 214 degrees Celsius, but not always. Together with the ice giant Neptune, Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system. It has a beautiful blue-green atmosphere that is very similar to Jupiter's in the outermost part of our solar system. This is because hydrogen combines with helium, methane, ammonia, and water to create this mixture, which gives Uranus a lovely blue-green hue when the red portion of the Sun is absorbed. The ice giant shows up in a gorgeous shade of green and blue. The liquid core, which holds together around 80% of Uranus' mass, is mostly made up of substances like methane, frozen water, ammonia, and other frozen elements. Potentially two moons. When Voyager 2 passed Uranus in 1986, 10 new moons were found by University of Idaho planetary researchers, but the probe missed a number of moons. When scientists examined the data from Voyager 2, two astronomers found that the alpha and beta rings had ripples. The planetary scientists identified similar wave patterns made by two passing moons, which are known as Cordelia and Ophelia. According to recent discoveries, the moons around Uranus are said to have a small diameter of 4 to nearly 14 because these celestial bodies are so small that a Voyager's camera could either record them as background noise or not see them at all. Astronomers believe that the rings surrounding Uranus were formed by the gravity of these bodies. Uranus' ring and moon system is youthful and energetic. Enigmatic magnetic field, music, since the Earth's magnetic field is only 11 degrees. Slanted and contains a bar magnet. The fact that Uranus' magnetic poles are not in line with the geographic poles is a mystery. The magnetic field of Uranus is much more complex than that of Earth, consisting of not only a dipole component, but also another part with a total of 4 magnetic poles. Given the different magnetic poles and the enormous inclination of Uranus, it is not surprising that the magnetic field varies greatly in different places in the southern hemisphere. The Earth's magnetic field has both north and south poles. In contrast, the magnetic field of Uranus is tilted by approximately 59 degrees and shifted so that the magnetic field does not pass through the center of Uranus. Uranus's magnetic field is just 1/3 as powerful as Earth's, yet for a considerable amount of time, the northern hemisphere of Uranus has had a magnetic field that is nearly 4 times stronger than Earth's. Researchers thought that a salty, big pool of water would control Uranus's magnetic field because of its 98-degree inclined syn-axis and 59-degree inclined magnetic field, which would give the ice giant a massive magnetosphere. However, this theory proved incorrect. Recent research indicates that Uranus' magnetosphere is identical to that of other planets. However, it is unknown why. Astronomers have confirmed that Uranus has auroras that mirror Earth's northern and southern lights. Uranus is foul-smelling. A recent study claims that the ice giant is foul-smelling. The top atmosphere's hydrogen sulfide-dominated clouds are the cause of the rotten egg odor. In 1986, a Voyager passed past Uranus, but the distance was so immense that it was very challenging to observe it in detail. The near-infrared integral field spectrometer was utilized by researchers based in Hawaii to examine the sunlight reflected above the Uranus clouds. Since only a small amount of hydrogen sulfide remained above the clouds as saturated steam, scientists were able to identify his signature for the gas. Extreme storms predominate on Uranus, the 3rd largest planet in our solar system. Yet scientists say that Uranus clouds are comparable to those of Neptune, but different from those of Jupiter and Saturn. The violent storms on Uranus encounter less resistance and can reach wind speeds of up to 900 kilometers per hour because the ice giant is as 19 times farther from the Sun than the Earth. meaning it has significantly less solar energy available. Astronomers confirm that no other storm was as bright as the one that was observed on Uranus. The seventh planet's mass is 14 times that of Earth, making it the lightest gas planet. The storms were measured using infrared technology at a wavelength of 2 micrometers, and the clouds of Uranus' uppermost tropospheric layer could be seen in this layer. The pressure in this layer is less than 50% of the atmospheric pressure that exists on Earth. If you are aware of any further fascinating, intriguing facts about Uranus, please share them with us in the comments section. We would appreciate hearing your opinions and expertise about the planet Uranus.